Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So today's pick a card reading is the third and final video of our rest of 2023 series. We have done a general predictions video for the rest of 2023. We've also done a love life reading for the rest of 2023. I'll have both of those linked down below in case you haven't checked them out yet and you would like to. But today's reading is all about your career. So we are going to see what developments, advancements, changes are awaiting you in your career journey from now until, from now until the very end of 2023. So whenever you happen to be watching this video, we're going to be looking at from today until December 31st of 2023. Or maybe a little bit beyond, because I remember in the love life reading we did peek a little bit into 2024, so we'll see how it goes. Spirit will bring you whatever messages you need to hear today, but let's just jump right into your option selection. So there are 4 readings for you guys to choose from today, and I'm going to show you each of these crystals up close one by one, and please pick whichever one you feel drawn to the most. Number 1 is Spirit Quartz. Number 2 is Unakite. Number 3 is Garnet. And number 4 is Citrine. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm going to go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number 1s, so if you guys chose the Spirit Quartz, this is going to be a reading all about your career in the rest of 2023. We are going to be using these 2 decks today. We are going to start off with the Creative's Compass Oracle and see your current energy with regards to your career, as well as the energy you're going to be in at the end of the year, so that we can see what's changing. And then we are going to go into the Apparition Tarot and get a more specific chronological breakdown of the events that will be taking place in your career. These 2 decks together are the KINO Tarot Summer Bundle, which I've curated in collaboration with Tarot Stack. I love Tarot Stack. I'm super happy to be working with them again. I think this is our 5th seasonal bundle that we've done together so far. But just in case you haven't heard of them before, Tarot Stack is an online shop that features a huge selection of indie tarot and oracle decks. Their selection is constantly growing. They have a beautiful range of diverse decks that are made by independent creators, and 50% of their profits actually go towards funding new indie deck projects. So they help these creators get their decks printed and published and marketed so that they can get out there into the world and reach those who are meant to receive their messages. This deck, in fact, is a Tarot Stack original publication. So I'm gonna have this bundle linked down below if you guys want to check it out. I'll also link the individual decks if there's one in particular that you are vibing with, and you can actually check out pictures of every single card in the deck if you really want to get a thorough look and see if you resonate with it. So thank you so much to Tarot Stack for collaborating with me, and let's get right into your reading. Oh, one more thing. If you do get the bundle or this Creative's Compass, you can get 10% off using the code KINO. Okay, let's get started. Woo! And I dropped the card on the floor. Oh my gosh! It's the Ace of Cups. Okay, I'm gonna keep that here. I'm very clumsy right now. I'm gonna keep this right here because I feel like that was a sign for you guys that this just fell down. There is a new start coming in your career that is going to make you very happy. Perhaps that just the way it effortlessly fell out, it could be a sign of things falling into place, perhaps of something falling right into your lap. But this is a really, really good sign to start off. Okay, so we're going to get some cards to represent your current energy in your career. Group number 1's current energy. So first we have Copycat. Understand that they exist, do not be one. To be inspired means simply to be propelled into action. It's not the same thing. Then we have disappointment, not really failure. This happens simply when an expectation has not been met. Don't be discouraged when no one is ready to walk through the entrance you just created. And then we have magician. Your talents are not limited. Your creativity is your superpower. Express individuality. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to come out after this copycat card. Group number 1. It seems that for those of you who chose this group, you may not be entirely happy with where your career currently is or where your career appears to be headed. This message of no one is ready to walk through the entrance you just created. Some of you may be struggling to get noticed in your field or struggling to have others like understand and get on board with your ideas. So you may struggle to get on the same page with people you work with. You feel like you're coming up with really good ideas and they just don't get it, or people just don't follow through with it. You could be in a stage in your career where you're facing rejection. So maybe you're going to job interviews and getting rejected, or you are putting out work and you're not really getting as big of a response as you wanted. Maybe you are submitting your work to places and not hearing back or not being accepted. Or as this card suggests more in general, your expectations, what you had hoped for yourself in your career, it seems to not really be being met right now. And with this copycat card, you may sometimes feel tempted to do it how everyone else is doing and to sort of go against your own unique way of doing things. Or you could feel not a temptation, but a pressure when you see, oh, that person over there is doing it that way. Maybe I'm not doing it good enough. And if I did it more like them, then I could be successful. You may be bombarded with images or narratives of this is how everyone does it who's successful. And if you just follow these steps, if you just buy this product, if you just take this course, if you just follow what this textbook says, then you can be successful. And maybe you see other people becoming successful and feel like, why can't that be me? Maybe you fall into that trap of comparing yourself. There's a little bit of like a temptation or a pressure to compromise your uniqueness or your authenticity because you feel like, oh, maybe if I do that, then I won't be rejected. Maybe if I do that, then I'll be successful. But I definitely think there's advice to not succumb to this energy. Even this card says, do not be one. Continue to be true to your unique style. Continue to be true to your vision. And whatever door closed for you, it's not the only door. Like, your talents are not limited, but I also think this is saying your opportunities are not limited. There's so many different doors that can open for you. There's so many different ways in which you can be successful. And it doesn't have to look like what everyone else is doing. It doesn't have to look like what people tell you you should do. It doesn't have to look like the tried and true formula. There are really unlimited ways that you can be successful. And that means you don't have to mold yourself in any way that doesn't feel good or that doesn't feel authentic. And I know like the pressure can be there to compromise or to follow someone else's formula, but don't. Very easy for me to say, but I think staying true to yourself is really important here. But let's see what energy we have for the end of your year. What energy is group number 1 going to be in their career at the end of the year? We have hoarder, accumulation, stockpiling ideas. Is this avoidance? Compromise. You have time to do what you really want. Interesting. Extract as far as possible the should do items on the list. We have recognition. Acclaim, the pat on the shoulder and the shiny things are significant, but they don't affect the truth of your work. You are not defined by these. You create because you are creative. This card comes up a lot when I use this deck. Perhaps something a lot of us need to remember. And then we have exhaustion, overload, overwhelm, press the reset button and prioritize restoration. Your work will wait for you. So it looks like your energy at the end of the year is all about rearranging your priorities. If you are confused about what approach you should take, or if you are confused about what you should do next, I think it's really important to remember your why and really narrow that down. And I think the fact that this Ace of Cups came out, it's also about prioritizing your own fulfillment and your own enjoyment and just trusting that the rest will follow. You know, obviously this is a job, we need to make money, and we want to be proud of what we're doing. Maybe we want others to be proud of us. And I think it does take a leap of faith on your part to just really go within and prioritize joy and emotional fulfillment in everything you do, and just trust that everything else I need will follow. Everything else I need will come from that. The stability and the security, as well as the recognition. I think that if you're not really clear about your reason for doing what you do, you know, because there's a part of you that wants to be happy, but then there's also this part of you that just maybe wants to be successful fast, and then there's this part of you that who cares what people think and wants people to think what you're doing is worthy or cool or a real job. Like, there's all these different versions of you that want different things, and I think you really have to zone in on what's important. Otherwise, you're going to get overwhelmed with, I should be doing this and I should be doing that and I should be taking that approach, and your energy could get kind of scattered if you don't discern which part of you is Molly's making really funny noises right now. There's a parrot upstairs. If you don't discern which facet of you gets to run the ship, I hope that makes sense. You know, with these two cards together, there's a feeling of trying to do too much or trying to entertain too many ideas at once, and this really leading to exhaustion. And it could be because, like, you're looking in the wrong places. You're doing what you think you should do to gain recognition or to get noticed or to make money quick. And when all of these less important reasons come into the mix, it makes the number of paths like too overwhelming. I really hope that makes sense. And so I think that at the end of the year, you really are in the energy of reprioritizing your joy and just trusting that when I do this, when I move forward putting my joy first, like, all the right doors are going to open for me. I don't have to worry about, like, oh, I should try this, I should try knocking on this door, I should try knocking on that door, I should try knocking over here, when, like, half of them may not even be the right doors for you or something that you'll really enjoy. Just focus on what you love, and when the right door opens, you'll know, because you'll feel overflowed with joy and overflowed with excitement. And I guess this is something that is really clicking for you at the end of the year. Like, you're really simplifying your life and simplifying the things that you are pursuing. And you could be recovering from a burnout at the end of the year. Maybe the end of the year is like a busy or stressful time for you, like just with a lot of things going on. And I think you're going into the new year being like, this is a year of self-care. This is a year of prioritizing myself. Like, I'm just going to do what makes me happy because I really don't have the energy to be chasing things that don't make me happy. There's kind of a wake-up call like that is happening. Like, not going to knock on all these doors because of a fear of failure or a fear of not doing enough, but just sitting with yourself and letting your heart guide you to the right places. So I'm going to keep this here, but we're going to get into the more specific timeline of events now, because this is just kind of like the overall energy, but we're going to see a specific breakdown of like what is happening for you. So we're going to go from now and then into the end of the year, like a timeline. My camera is really wanting to focus on the flame of this candle, so I do think there's something about protecting your light and really like kindling your energy, fueling yourself, nurturing yourself, honoring your energy. Yeah, taking good care of yourself is a huge theme for this group. I'm gonna do one more shuffle because that one was messy. All right. What is the timeline of events in group number one's career, starting from the day they are watching this and going to the end of the year? We have the Knight of Cups, the Emperor, the Five of Wands, and the Six of Cups. Okay. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Swords. Yeah. I think, like, look at these two cards. We have a card that talks about being in your head and a card that talks about being in your heart. The one that talks about being in your head, it's frazzled, it's anxious, it's worrying. The card that is in your heart, it's overflowing with joy. I think there needs to be a change in your career where you are leading with your heart. And I'm not saying like pursuing security is not important, because obviously as humans we need to make a living, we need security. But if you are constantly worrying about that or motivated by those things, and it's causing you to have a career that is like devoid of joy and fulfillment, I think it's not worth it. I think that's the message that is coming through. Like, this is really showing the importance of getting back to your heart and getting back to what you love. And I think at the end of the year, this is going to be possible because of the people you're surrounded with, because of your community. The Six of Cups, to me, it's a soulmate card. It's where you feel right at home. And usually we see two people on this card, but for you, there's all of these hands, almost like this is the same cup to me. Like, this is your cup of fulfillment, and all these hands are coming to surround your cup and to protect your cup. So this is a community that supports your happiness and supports your emotional fulfillment, supports you being in a career that makes you happy. I think all the different colors too, it's indicating like a very diverse team. So by the end of the year, some of you guys could be with different people, working with different people on a different team. Or you could just have more supportive people around you. Because it seems like these people are really coming together to lift you up and support you. And their cups are being filled as well. It's like a really happy team, a really good team culture where our emotional state and our emotional well-being is really prioritized. It's like some of you, you're either focused on the wrong things or your current job makes you focus on things that don't make you happy. It's like your current career situation or the approach that you're taking to your career is stressing you out. But by the end of the year, you're going to be in a much more peaceful situation. And it's going to be easy to take care of yourself and prioritize your emotional well-being when you are surrounded by people who share those same values and priorities. Like, yeah, your circle is changing, your team is changing. You're in a team that it's like people over profit, or like our mental health is the most important thing. Like, what is the point of being financially successful and being productive if we are miserable or if we're always on the verge of burnout? This is a number of harmony as well, like harmony and good health. There's just like a big priority shifting where like we're not so focused on like speed and productivity and efficiency and making more and doing more, and we're more focused on peace. My job works for me, I don't work for my job. My money works for me, I don't work for my money. We're like flipping the narrative, and you're in a lifestyle that is a lot more sustainable and that supports you more. And yes, you are surrounded by diverse people, so you could be working with people of different age groups, different backgrounds, different walks of life. That's a beautiful card to finish off. And with this Five of Wands coming right before it, this is very, very different energy. This is like everyone's working together in peace and harmony. And this is conflict. And with this coming up next to the Emperor too, some of you guys might really not see eye to eye with your boss or with some sort of authority figure, or just your team in general. There's a feeling of like needing a new team, or if you don't have a team, like needing a good team. The people that you're surrounded with, I think, really makes all of the difference. If we go back to here, we talked about like that pressure to do what everyone else is doing. Well, it's kind of hard to escape that pressure if you have a boss who is constantly pressuring you to do things that don't make you happy, to do things that are inauthentic to you. There's the authority figure that you have, or like the team that you currently have, or who you're getting your advice from. It doesn't really seem like the best fit for you, and I think that it will be changing by the end of this year. And what's so interesting is that at the start of your timeline, so this is, your nearest future, this is someone coming into your life, this Knight of Cups, a loving, kind, caring, and compassionate person, a person who has a lot of empathy. Some of you guys currently, you might have a boss who doesn't have a lot of empathy for what you do because they haven't been in your position for a long time. I'm imagining a boss who is like, I started in my entry-level position and I worked my way up over 20 years and now I'm the manager. And I don't want to discredit their journey. That's amazing. They worked very hard. But It's like a lot has changed since 20 years ago when you were in this position. You haven't had to experience our struggles in a really long time, or maybe ever. Like someone who's out of touch. You may have an authority figure who is out of touch. And so the demands that they make of you, or the expectations that of what you should be able to produce, you're like, no, it doesn't work that way. Like, you come try. You try being in my position for a day and you try to do what you're asking of me. And like it doesn't, that's not how it works. Like someone making unreasonable demands because they're just very like out of touch, or they don't understand the position. It could also be clients. I'm seeing this Emperor just as someone you have to answer to. So you could also have clients who are like, well, why can't you just do this? And it's like, you don't understand. Like, there's that kind of feeling. Because this is like people at conflict. And maybe for many of you, you've kind of just normalized this as being a part of your job and something you have to deal with. But that's all changing. Harmony is being restored. And I think it starts from this kind and compassionate and empathetic soul entering into your life and showing you that these interactions can be peaceful and that we can be supportive of one another. And it doesn't have to feel like this you versus me thing, and that you don't have to go through a work day constantly being on edge. You know, that your like nervous system is so, what do you call it? Like overstimulated to the point that when you get home, you're completely exhausted. Like your days don't have to be like that. We can be in a team that is fun, where we're on the same page, where we support each other, where we're kind and understanding of each other. I think there's just, you know, every day doesn't have to feel like a hustle. And you don't have to like psych yourself up before going into the meeting, like, okay, let's do this. It can really be something that you look forward to. Showing up to your work and greeting your team or greeting your clients, like it can be this really nice experience. And with the Knight of Cups, it really is someone coming to you. So I do think quite soon there is a new offer coming to you. And just the environment or the vibe of this offer, I think kind of highlights the high stress situations you've been dealing with on a daily basis, or just the disalignment of your current environment or the current people you're with. Just realizing that it doesn't have to be like that. There's a little bit of like, we've normalized conflict, or we've normalized that this should be a frustrating process. That when you experience it being peaceful and harmonious and enjoyable, it's like, what the F? Like, you're telling me this could have been my day-to-day, that this could have been just the reality of my job. So yeah, I really think anxieties and worries are being replaced by emotional fulfillment. Even the fact that this is a number 9, this is an energy that's moving out, because 9 is like the last digit. 1 is the new beginning. So this new beginning is what is waiting for you. So finally, I kept thinking I want to talk about this 9 of Pentacles in reverse, because it did make an appearance when I was holding these up. For those of you who are thinking of like being self-employed, or you are self-employed, or you're doing things completely on your own, I'm not saying you're not capable of doing it on your own, but it may really be better with a team. If you think you don't like working in teams, it may just be because you weren't compatible with people in the past. and I don't mean to like, I don't mean to challenge your preferences. I don't mean like you just haven't met a good team. I really hope it's not coming across in that way. But I hope that you would be open to the idea of like a really awesome group to work with. For those of you who are like, no, I want to be completely like working on my own, I want to be doing my own thing, there may just be a really lovely group. Whether you join them is up to you, but I do think that the offer is going to be there. Yeah, I just wanted to mention that. So yeah, the last thing I wanted to mention was astrological placements that are present here. I'll just stick with like the really main ones so that I don't name like 8 of the 12 signs. But we have Aries energy here with the Emperor. We have Leo energy with the 5 of Wands, and it is Saturn in Leo. That's kind of specific. We have Scorpio energy with the 6 of Cups. This is Venus in Scorpio. And then, or no, sorry, it's the Sun in Scorpio. But Venus in Scorpio could also be relevant because I said it. Sun and Venus in Scorpio. Then with the 9 of Swords, we have Gemini. This is Mars in Gemini. And then we have Virgo with the 9 of Pentacles, and it's Venus in Virgo. So that is everything. I really hope that that made sense. Group number ones, thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Once again, I want to, let's put it like this. So we have the Ace of Cups front and center. I want to give a huge thank you to Tarot Stack for collaborating with me again, and a huge thank you to the creators of these amazing decks. I'm going to have the bundle linked down below as well as the individual decks. Remember that you can check out every single card in the deck on Tarot Stack's website, and if you would like to get the bundle, or if you would like to get this Creative Compass Oracle, you can get 10% off using the code KINO. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch timeless exclusive pick a card readings just like this one, my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That's an original song, and I'm also going to have my latest release linked down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, anything that I do. I'm very grateful to have you here. Group number one, I'm sending lots of love to you, to everyone who appeared in this reading. And I'm sending love to your higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi number twos, so if you guys chose the Unakite, this is going to be a reading all about your career in the rest of 2023. We're going to start off with the Creative Compass Oracle, and we're going to take a look at your current energies towards your career, as well as the energies that you will be in at the end of the year, so that we can see what is changing. And then we're going to use the Apparition Tarot to get a more specific chronological breakdown of the events that will be taking place in your career in the rest of this year. And these two decks together make up the KINO Tarot Summer Bundle, which I've curated in collaboration with Tarot Stack. I love Tarot Stack. This is, I think, my 5th seasonal bundle that I've done with them. But just in case you haven't heard of them before, they're an online shop that features a huge selection of indie tarot and oracle decks. They are beautiful, they are diverse, they are constantly growing their selection, and 50% of Tarot Stack's profits go towards funding new projects by independent tarot and oracle deck creators. So they help these creators get their decks printed and published and marketed so that they can get out there into the world and reach those who need their messages. I'm super grateful for what Tarot Stack does for our community, and in fact, this oracle deck that we're going to be using today is one of their original publications, and I'm going to have both of these decks linked down below. I'm also going to have the bundle if you resonate with both of them. But on Tarot Stack's website, you can check out every single card in the deck. So if you feel like you might resonate with one or both of these, you can take a further look on their website. And if you do want to get the bundle or the Creative's Compass Oracle, you can get 10% off using the code KINO. So thank you so much to Tarot Stack for collaborating with me. And without further ado, let's get into your reading. The first thing we want to do is take a look at your current energies with regards to your career. What is group number 2's current energy with regards to their career? That's a lot. Okay, we have Quartz, unfulfilled desires, people you admire, what you think you should do. Like your hair, some things need a regular trim. It's funny because I wondered if that little explosion of cards meant that you guys had a lot going on or you have a lot on your mind. Maybe at this time, there's a lot of things in your career that you think you should do, that you think you should be doing. We have marination. The buildup is hard sometimes. Find something to do, but don't cut yourself off completely. And then we have vision. We don't just hold things up to the light and examine them from a unique perspective. We open doors, break down barriers, and create an easier way forward. Ooh, there's something big that you guys are working on. Like some of you who chose this group, you could be working on a project that is going to be very significant in your career. Like a very significant creative project, or like you are launching a new product, or like you're about to make a move in your business that is really big. And I feel like something that's coming through is that this process cannot be rushed. And also, it's like take your time. Take your time. You might feel pressure, like you should get this out there as soon as possible, or like if other people can do it in this amount of time, I should do it as well in this amount of time. But no, there's really a feeling of take your time and fine tune everything and make it the best that you can be until it is like the most chef's kiss ever. And this can be so many things. This could be making an album. That was an example that came to my mind right away. And you feel that pressure of like, I need to release new music, but then no, like let's really let our ideas marinate. Let's sit with them. Let's tweak every little thing, like spend time on every little detail. And also let's give that project time to rest so that we can come back to it with a fresh set of eyes. And then maybe we want to fix something different. Something really needs time to become perfected. This could even be, like I said, a product that you're going to launch, a website that you're going to launch. It could be even a resume or an application or a cover letter that you are going to send off. It could be a paper that you are writing. Of course, this can be so many different things. I understand that some things might have deadlines, but I think as much as you can, there is a message to really take your time on something because this is big. I heard for some of you, this is one of the biggest things you will do in your life, or it's going to be a catalyst to really, really big accomplishments in your life. And there's no need to rush. I think this is just not getting caught up in what you think you should do, and not getting caught up in, like, the world always seems to be rushing us, you know, like do more faster. And I think this is just about not getting caught up in that. Again, like a bunch of cards coming out at once. So what about your energy at the end of the year? What is that going to look like? Ooh, Seeker. Be curious, not afraid. You are here to evolve. I think group number 2, at the end of this year, there's an opportunity or an offer coming your way that is bigger than what you expected. That it is almost a little bit scary to you because you can't really fathom the challenges that might come your way, and you can't really fathom how your life is going to change when you accept this opportunity. You may have a feeling that this is really going to disrupt your normal, so to speak, like what has become your everyday life. But there's also an uncertainty of like, I don't know how much my life is going to change. I don't know if I'm ready. But this is really a testament to taking your time to doing the best work possible. It's giving a quality over quantity kind of vibe. Like, it's better to get one really, really good offer, or it's better to make one really, really good project than make several that you're not truly happy with or that are less than what you know you can do. An opportunity that is more than you expected, that is kind of scary. What else do we have? We have unfurling, discovery, authenticity, rawness, vulnerability is a cure for many ills. You're going through a personal transformation as well. Self-discovery. And that's why it's saying not to be afraid. Be curious. What version of myself am I going to get the opportunity to meet as a result of accepting this offer? You know, I would even go so far as to say, forget about if it even goes well or not. Like, you are going to learn something new about yourself. You're going to get to see a new version of yourself emerge. This is less about, is it going to go well? Am I going to be good enough? And more just a curiosity of, let's see what this does. Let's see where this takes me. What else does group number 2 need to know? What energy will they be in at the end of this year? And we have relevance. Relevance is not the point, although personal significance is meaningful. There is always an outcome. So when you stick to your vision, you will become relevant. Basically, I think this is indicating that your skill, your attention to detail, your, I don't know what the word is, you're very particular about your work, and this is going to gain you recognition. Depending on the nature of your career, some of you could be gaining like public recognition, gaining a following, gaining fans, gaining fame, if that's something that applies to your career or something that you would like, that could definitely be an outcome. At the end of this year, you will have more recognition than you do now. You may have more followers, more admirers, more eyes on you, more people reaching out to you. Interesting. What is going on with my group number 2? Something big is coming, but it cannot be rushed. Something big is coming, but it cannot be rushed. Or I should say, it doesn't have to be rushed. That's maybe a better way to put it. It doesn't have to be rushed. Take as much time as you need to do the best work possible. And even if there is a deadline, if you can, of course, you may want to postpone things or get an extension if it's possible. So for the next part of the reading, we are going to see the chronological breakdown of events. For your career in the rest of 2023. So it's going to go like a timeline. The card here will represent your nearest future, and then we go through time to the very end of the year. we are starting off with the Ten of Swords. So there is an ending taking place. I actually think, though, that this Ten of Swords could be indicating the completion of something rather than, because saying like there's an ending, it sounds kind of ominous. I think it's more like there's a completion that's happening. The reason I say that is because arms and hands make me think of work, labor that is being done. And so it's an ending. Well, you could be leaving a job if that's something you're thinking of, or maybe you just recently did that. But I think for many of you, this is talking about the completion of a big project that took a lot of mental energy. It took a lot of mental energy. You finished it. You're proud of yourself, hopefully. I hope you are. And now you're just really freaking tired. There actually may be a period after the completion of this thing that you can't even process your happy feelings or your proud feelings, because first you have to just feel tired. I'm like imagining someone who, let's say they've gotten a PhD, and that was many years of hard work and research and maybe all-nighters and just a lot of mental energy. And then their close friends and family are like, how do you feel? You must be so proud of yourself. And you're just like, I just need to take a nap for 3 weeks. Like, I can't even feel those other emotions yet. I just need to sleep for like 4 days and not do anything because my brain is so tired. Like you guys who chose this group, you're working on something, or you've just completed something that really, really took a lot of brain power. And that I think at many points in this process you were channeling. Whatever it is that you were working on, whatever it is that you were creating, you were channeling. Maybe you were intentionally doing that, maybe not, but that is coming through for sure. There could be a specific message just with these swords going through the arm. Maybe some of you guys had an injury or like a problem with your physical health or physical body that kind of took you out of work or just made work harder. So maybe we're seeing that start to clear up. Then we have the Nine of Pentacles. So this is a card of abundance and appreciation and living your best life. I love to see that. And I don't know when this reading is going to be up in September, I believe. And this is Virgo energy. It especially makes me think of September Virgo because it has the number 9 on it. So this month of September, if you're watching this in September, if not, ignore me, could be a very significant month for you. You not only will be getting recognition for what you have done, but it will be advancing you in your career, likely bringing you some sort of financial gain. I'm also seeing you're going to be flooded with messages of people who are either very proud of you and congratulating you, or people who are thanking you because the work that you did has helped them tremendously. Like thanking you for your labor, or thanking you for the impact that your work had on them. You could be receiving gifts as well. Like people physically sending you gifts, sending you flowers, sending you like gifts, I already said gifts, sorry, tips, tips or donations, someone covering an expense for you. There's like monetary or material gifts that are coming your way as a thank you for all of the hard work that you have done. I also think this Nine of Pentacles is talking about balance being restored to your life, because it looks like until now, you haven't had a lot of work-life balance. It's just been work because you've either had to focus a lot on work or you gave yourself tunnel vision on like a project or something you were working on. And now that it's done, like you're going through kind of a period of like, oh my God, I'm so exhausted. And finally, balance is restored in my life. I can focus on other things. I can have my social life again. I can travel, I can work on my hobbies, and now I just get to enjoy the fruits of my labor with these grapes here. With the bird here, I do think there's going to be a lot of buzz around you, people talking about you in a positive way for sure. That like 90%, 99% positive things being said, because you know, there's always that one person. If you receive any like criticisms about your work that are not constructive, you do not need to listen to them. I do think inevitably it's going to be there, especially if you resonate with your platform growing or with more people knowing about you. But just pay attention to the feedback that is overwhelmingly positive, and all of the positive impact you made on others' lives through your work, and it will speak for itself. The messages you receive will speak for themselves. The gifts you receive will speak for themselves. I just heard in my mind's ear, I just wanted to come and thank you personally. It's like someone important is taking the time out of their day to come and thank you personally. Someone that you otherwise would not see very often. It's like, imagine you work for a really big company and then like the literal CEO like comes to you and is like, hello, group 2, I just came to personally thank you for all your hard work. And you're like, what? Like, I never thought I'd be face to face talking to you. There's like that kind of vibe of an important person coming through. But yeah, this is a period too, you've already worked very hard. Like, give yourself time to rest and recharge and just enjoy the fruits of your labor and enjoy the positive attention you're receiving and enjoy the validation. I know that that's not the point, but enjoy it because yes, it does feel good. So what comes after this 9 of Pentacles energy? We have the 3 of Swords. So there is some kind of personal disappointment, personal dissatisfaction. And it's interesting, this is Libra energy, and like Libra comes after Virgo. So this could be in Libra season, late September to late October. It doesn't have to be, I'm just mentioning it in case it's significant. Judging by the fact that this comes after the 9 of Pentacles, this looks to me like, and this is something that I've heard a few very successful people talk about. And I'm going to use a concrete example of this. Let's say you just published a book and it became a bestseller. So you're in this 9 of Pentacles energy. Everyone is celebrating you. You're getting a lot of press. There's, you know, critical acclaim surrounding your work and you're feeling on top of the world. Then these thoughts start to creep in. I'm never going to be able to do that again. I'm never going to be able to top that. I'm never going to be able to become a bestseller again. Or there's that feeling of, what next? What do I do now? Or there's a feeling of emptiness once this kind of glow wears off. I don't know why our brain does this, but I've heard many successful people talk about this phenomenon of like, you're not even finished celebrating your success and you're already worrying about like, how am I going to do it again? Or like a musician that got a #1. And then there's that overwhelming pressure of, I don't want to be a one-hit wonder, like, or how am I going to do this again? You're already feeling that pressure of maintaining your success. So after this initial celebration, honestly, group number 2, you might be struggling a little bit mentally. And I think just being aware that it's your brain playing tricks on you can help alleviate some of that. Yeah, like it's okay if these thoughts pass through, but just let them pass through, and I hope that you won't I hope that you won't dwell in them. You know, we see even this person sitting on the ledge. They've been through this crazy journey, and now, like, they're peering over the edge. They might feel like it's the end for them. You might feel like it's the end for you, or like this is never gonna happen again, or how can I live up to this name that I've created for myself now? Maybe you even have a bit of imposter syndrome, like, I don't deserve this success. Like, I tricked people into thinking this is a good book, or this is a good song, or that they should hire me, or whatever it is. But yeah, it looks like you're struggling a little bit. And I really feel for you guys, because like, struggling mentally is hard enough, but then struggling mentally when you feel like you should be so happy and grateful right now, and then feeling guilty about that, that's really hard. You might feel kind of lonely in this, because if you told someone that you're, struggling mentally, they'd be like, what are you talking about? You have a #1 bestseller. You have, everything's going well for you. And so you might feel just not comfortable bringing it up. Like, I'm just looking at this person. They look alone. They look like they're struggling alone. If anyone's with them, it looks like their shadow self that is with them. You may also kind of have a realization that if you have any inner issues with self-worth and self-esteem, while the external validation and, externally being celebrated feels really good, you might have that kind of harsh realization that none of this really does anything to remedy my internal feelings of self-worth. Like, no amount of external validation will fix that. And maybe you already know this, but that doesn't make it hurt any less, So let's get one last card for our November and December. I also just got the example of someone who got accepted into a really prestigious school and everyone is super proud of them. And now they're already worrying about, like, how am I going to get good grades? How am I going to keep up? It's like they're just diving right into the next thing to worry about. And then we have the 5 of Swords. Wow. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Swords. Mental strength. There's a lot of swords energy going on here. 4 out of 5 cards are swords. I wonder if you guys have a lot of air placements, or if you will be working alongside a lot of air signs, or maybe the season of winter is going to be very significant for you. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, there will be a winter season in the rest of this year. But if you're not, like, even if the next winter for you is in 2024, I still think that could be a relevant time in your career. And actually, this is Aquarius energy, so January, February could also be significant. But, swords have to do with your mind. And then the bottom of the deck card, this is you. You're the queen of your mind. So you don't have to let these thoughts win. And it's funny because the 5 of Swords, it talks about conflict and fighting. And especially in this deck, it definitely looks like a battle has taken place. But if you look at this person at the top, they are victorious. They won the battle. And they're letting all of these heads roll. And so I think you can face these intrusive negative thoughts that come your way. You can defeat them. That's what this 5 of Swords is talking about. I think that all of these heads represent different... This feels like a very internal thing, like internal conflict. So I think that these heads just represent like the negative voices in your head telling you this and that. And one moment, because I'm going to change the card in my camera. Okay, we are back, and as you can see, you are defeating all of them and they are rolling away from you. A little bit of a violent image, but I think that it illustrates very well that you will be victorious over these intrusive thoughts. And also, you know, in the case that these do represent people, anyone who tries to put pressure on you, even if they mean well, I think you'll be able to stand up for yourself. So, you know, I'm really going with that bestseller example because it's just really, it's really easy to make an example out of it. You know, let's say you have a family member who they mean well, but their words are kind of pressuring you and they're like, so what's your plan to get bestseller #2? Like, what's your plan for the next round? Or, you know, oops, a lot of pressure. You have people expecting blah, blah, blah from you now. Or, you know, just making comments that they might think is casual or well-meaning, but that do kind of trigger that anxiety or pressure in you. I think this is showing you will be able to confidently stand up for yourself. That doesn't mean you fight them, of course, but I think it's just like, oh, you know, I'm just gonna, you know, celebrate my most recent success. I don't want to put any pressure on myself right now, or like I'm still figuring that out. And however they respond to that, like, it's not going to affect you. Even if they disagree and they think you should be getting cracking or pressuring yourself more, like, you're not gonna fall prey to that way of thinking. Yeah, if you have that, some of you might have that kind of family who's constantly like, what are you doing with your life? What's next? When are you going to do this? When are you going to do that? I think that this is showing a version of you who is able to kindly stand up to those people or challenge their way of thinking. Confidently say, no, I'm not going to pressure myself like that. No, I'm not in a rush. No, I'm just figuring things out right now. Or stand up for yourself in a more aggressive way if needed. But yeah, you are the victor here. This is V for victory. It's actually V for 5, but I think it means victory for you guys. And yeah, you're the Queen of Swords. So at the end of the day, you are the queen of your thoughts. You get to choose. We can't choose every single thought that pops into our head, obviously, but we can choose which ones to hold on to and which ones to say, like, get out of here. Sometimes you have to be a bit more stubborn about it. But I think too, with this butterfly, you know, obviously this is transformation. The sunflower or the yellow flower in the background is happiness. Your mental state really is making a change for the better. And controlling your thoughts, I think, will become easier at the end of this year. Because I know some negative thoughts can be really persistent. They can just barge in without warning and refuse to leave. But I think you are developing a better sense of control over your thoughts and like being mindful about the thoughts that you're entertaining. Like, I sometimes even entertain a negative thought without even realizing it. Like, I'm just going about my day and then I'll notice, like, oh, I'm feeling a bit tense. I'm feeling anxious right now. What have I been thinking about for the past 10 minutes? And then I realize I'm worrying about some hypothetical scenario that hasn't even happened and getting worked up about it. And I'm like, why the heck am I thinking about this constantly? Like, I think this is just you becoming more aware of the thoughts you're entertaining and more discerning. The Queen of Swords is very discerning. Like, nope, we're not going to worry about that. Nope, we're not going to think about that right now. Which, by the way, this is just my little anecdote, but the other day I took like a supplement that's supposed to help you focus, and it was crazy. Like, I was doing a task and my brain actually said, oh no, we're not worried about that right now. Like, we're just focusing on the task at hand. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Because usually I'm like getting overwhelmed about steps 1, 2, 3, all the way to 50. And then I like jump forward to step 36 and start doing step 36 and 12 at the same time. And it was so weird to just have a brain that's like, oh no, like we're not doing that yet. Let's get back to the task at hand. Let's just start with step one. Crazy. So you're developing a better control over your mind and over the thoughts that you choose to entertain. All of that story to say this. Really becoming the master of your mind. And yeah, with this Five of Swords, because you have cultivated this better mindset, you're also ready to go out there and defend it if need be. So if anyone challenges your new mindset, or if anyone makes a comment that inadvertently that would, trigger you into your old mindset, you're able to defend it and say like, nope, we're just not going there. We're not going there today. We're not putting ourselves in that negative headspace today. It's not going to happen. So this whole experience is really an exercise for you to build immense mental strength. And it's likely that the next time you have your big success, it will not be accompanied by those pressures of how am I going to live up to this and how am I going to top this in the future. Like, you will be equipped now to be like, nope, that is not helpful thinking. Let's just enjoy the success that we have had, because whatever happens in the future is never going to take away from how freaking hard I worked and how this victory is mine and this abundance is mine. And I'm proud of what I'm doing. Wow, group number 2, that was lovely. So these are all the messages I have for your career in the rest of 2023. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. And once again, I want to say thank you to Tarot Stack for collaborating with me. Thank you to the creators of these wonderful decks for your hard work and for sharing your creativity and your insights. And this KINO Tarot Summer Bundle, once again, it's going to be linked down below. And I'm also going to have the individual decks linked. If there's one in particular you think you would resonate with, you can check out all of the cards in the deck on Tarot Stack's website. And if you do want to get either the bundle or the Creatives Compass Oracle, you can get those for 10% off with the code KINO. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where we have over like 70 something exclusive pick a card readings that are just like these ones. And I'm also going to link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song. And I'm going to have my latest release linked down below as well. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. So all that stuff is going to be linked down below for you in the description and the pinned comment. Thank you so much for supporting me, my channel, anything I do. I'm super grateful to have you here, group number 2, and I'm sending you lots of love. And sending love to anyone who appeared in this reading, sending love to your higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye! Hi number 3s, so if you guys chose the Garnet, this is going to be your reading all about your career in the rest of 2023. We're going to start off with the Creatives Compass Oracle to take a look at your current energies in your career as well as your energies at the end of this year so that we can see what is changing. And then with the Apparition Tarot, we're going to get a more specific chronological breakdown of the events that will be happening in your career in the rest of this year. And these two decks together make the KINO Tarot Summer Bundle, which I have curated in collaboration with Tarot Stack. We love Tarot Stack here on this channel. For those of you who have not heard of them yet, they're an online shop that features a huge selection of indie tarot and oracle decks. You can browse decks from all different creators, all different styles. They have a beautiful, diverse selection that is always growing. And 50% of Tarot Stack's profits actually go go towards funding indie deck projects. So they help independent creators get their decks printed and published and marketed so that they can reach those who need their messages. I'm really grateful for what they do for our community. And in fact, this Creative's Compass Oracle that we're using today is one of their original publications. Definitely be sure to check out this bundle. I'm going to have it linked down below. I'm also going to link the individual decks. If there's one in particular you feel like you're resonating with, you can check it out on Tarot Stack's website. You can actually look at every single card that is in the deck to see if it is a fit for you. But if you do want to get this bundle or the Creative's Compass Oracle, you can get 10% off using the code KINO. Thank you so much to Tarot Stack for collaborating with me once again on a seasonal bundle. And now, without further ado, let's get into your reading. So we're starting off with the Oracle, and the first thing we want to see is your current energies in your career. What are the current energies of group number 3 pertaining to their career? So we are starting off with ghosts, the grip of memories. Don't let the should have haunt you. Use it to move you forward and away from the past. Then we have catharsis, not always the point, but often an outcome. And then we have discretion. Can you keep a secret? Keep it inside until you have exhausted your own energy. Wow, so there is some kind of big release that is happening for this group. And this is your current energy. So it could be something that you're going through right now or very, very soon. Maybe this is something you've been through recently. It's interesting because every group so far has had some kind of message about struggling with a should, struggling with the idea of what you think you should be doing. But for this group, I think it's struggling with a should have, or not being able to let go of what could have been. There may be some ghost from your past that is kind of haunting you right now, or just something in the past that you are dwelling on. If only I had gotten that opportunity, if only I had worked harder, if only I had picked job A instead of job B, if only I had studied this in university, then I could have this job now, if only I had gotten started sooner. There may be things you're kind of dwelling on right now that you cannot really change. And I kind of want to put the cards like this because it seems like maybe this is something you're not really talking about. Whether you don't want to burden people, or maybe there's like shame or guilt involved with your past, or shame or guilt involved with your current negative emotions. It could even also be that you're not really letting yourself fully feel these emotions. And like how can you bring it up to someone else if you're trying to pretend that it doesn't exist? But what I see with this catharsis is that I think you need to talk about whatever happened to really be able to let it go. So some of you maybe have taken the approach of just bottling up your dissatisfaction or pretending that everything is okay. And I think with your current energy, you're being encouraged to let it all out. This says keep it inside until you've exhausted your own energy. And so it's kind of suggesting if you keep this inside, it will reach a breaking point where you just can't hold it anymore. And letting it out and talking about it, I think, is going to be really, really healing. It's like you have to acknowledge those emotions are there so that you can really let go of the past. It's like if you really missed an ex, you almost have to admit to yourself that those feelings are there so that you can start processing them and get over that ex. But your brain might be thinking, I can't admit to myself that I miss my ex because then I'm going to be dwelling in the past. You're trying to move on from a past that you haven't fully processed. And so, ironically, you cannot move on from it. Yeah. We can't change what your journey has been up until now. And it's time to release it. But first, we need to address those emotions. Like, let yourself be frustrated about what happened. Like, let it all out. Tell someone or write it down. And then just send it off. And I also really want to tell you guys, because I think it's important for you to remember that anything that is meant for you will not pass you by. So if an opportunity did pass you by before, it was not meant for you. And I also want to remind you guys that everything happens in perfect timing. I think we often feel like, if only I had done this sooner, if only I'd started earlier. I do this to myself a lot, but it's no use. Because A, you can't go back in time, and B, you don't know when your perfect timing is. Well, we do know that it's still coming, but we can't decide like, oh, 5 years ago I should have been doing XYZ, because we don't know the grand scale of our journey. So I think this is about you making peace with your past, but we have to acknowledge it first so that we can move on without regrets. Now, let's see what is in your end of year energy. Where are you going to be at the end of the year? Oh my gosh, timing. Delays often work in your favor. That's it. That's the end of the reading. Oh my gosh, we're literally just talking about that. Delays often work in your favor. Spacious thinking can be helpful. You will know when to persist. Patience essential. Don't give angst a seat at the table. This idea we have that we're behind and things should have happened sooner, it's so silly. We are always perfectly on time without even trying. And don't get stressed out if things aren't happening as quickly as you want. I do this a lot as well, so I can say from firsthand experience, there's no need to worry because things always happen at the right time. This is actually, if you want to know something, group number 3s, I often leave out, like I'll pull a card from this deck for myself and I'll leave it near my computer that I use for music as just something to keep in mind as I work. I do it with a few different oracle decks, but I leave out a Creative's Compass card, and this very card is one that I left out for myself because I pulled it and I was like, damn, delays often work in your favor. Like, I need to remember that because I'm an impatient Aries. I always want to be like getting things done quickly, and I get super frustrated with myself, and it's just so not helpful. It's so counterproductive. Anyway, yeah, you'll be at peace with the divine timing of your life by the end of this year, that's for sure. What else? What is group number 3's energy in their career at the end of this year? We also have Compass. Creative Compass, into the unknown. The name of the deck, into the unknown, but you are never really lost. Be nimble, curious, and flexible. Trust, not everything has to be understood, only experience. So at this point, you are really trusting your journey. You are never really lost. And also be flexible. Be curious and flexible. So we're not saying this shouldn't be happening right now and you know, stubbornly opposing the current situation. We're being curious about, how might this current situation be serving me? Why might I be at this point in my journey right now? And being flexible with the universe's plan. And then we have creative breakthrough. Oh my gosh. So it's when you can make peace with the past and release it that you will have a breakthrough. And it says, simply a breaking apart, the pressure released, very similar to catharsis. Overnight success takes years. So some of you have been on a year-long journey to a breakthrough in your career. Overnight success takes years. If you ever like compare your journey to someone else's who it seems like they developed their skills, became successful, became famous, whatever it might be, overnight, it's guaranteed it was not overnight. There's just a lot that goes on behind the scenes that we do not see. Also, I saw 1144 while I was talking about this card, so you're on the right path. That's just plain and simple. You're on the right path. Okay, so this is your overall energy. We're gonna get a look now at a more specific timeline. So to do that, we will be using our tarot. So it's just gonna go in a line. The card here will be your nearest future from the time that you're watching, and then we go along in time to finally the very end of the year. What events will group number 3 be going through in their career from the time that they are watching until the end of 2023? We are starting with the Two of Wands, 1313 on the camera as I'm holding this up. Then we have the King of Swords. The Four of Wands, oh my goodness. Then we have the Page of Swords. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords, it talks about a moving on, which makes a lot of sense because we just spoke at length about you moving on from the past and letting go. And, you know, more particularly, the Six of Swords is about moving on from a troubling situation, moving on from rough waters into more peaceful waters. So yeah, I definitely think you are able to leave your past and the troubles of your past behind you, and you're moving towards a brighter future, towards the sun on the horizon. If we take this literally, because there's often, you know, a boat traveling along the water in this card, some of you could be traveling for work or relocating for work, or you could be, yeah, just going on a trip. And also with the horse-drawn carriage in this Page of Swords card, that movement, it also makes me think of travel or relocation. Yeah, but the Six of Swords also makes me think of someone's mental health improving, like just being in a much better place mentally, having more clarity about your path, having more peace of mind, having, you know, much more positive thoughts than you do negative thoughts. It is a very nice card. So let's go through your timeline now. It does look for my group number 3s that there is a significant partnership that is being highlighted right from the get-go with the Two of Wands. There is a partnership being highlighted here. And then with the King of Swords right next to it, there's two people coming together. And actually the Four of Wands can also talk about a union. So there could be a business partner who is coming in, or a collaborator who is coming in. And, you know, the Four of Wands, the Four of Wands can talk about divine counterparts, and then we had like the two flames here. So I was kind of getting that vibe for some of you, that this could be like a divine counterpart that you are business partners with. Or if you're married, you and your spouse could be doing something together. If you're not married, this could be someone that you end up marrying, because the Four of Wands can also talk about marriages. But if we interpret it more broadly, this could just be talking about a happy union, a commitment that you're making to each other in a professional sense. But yeah, all of that to say, there is a significant partnership that is being highlighted here, and it is actually coming up in your nearest future. You and someone else are deciding to work together. For some of you, this could be a new person, but I actually feel that for many of you, this is someone you already know, or at least someone you know exists. You maybe haven't met them personally or had that many interactions with them yet, but you at least would recognize their name, recognize their face, or, you know, maybe that was the chair, I promise. And maybe you just like know them from a mutual person. But yeah, I feel like you have crossed paths in some way before, because I feel like this card, it's more so indicating a decision that you are making soon to join forces. And this is going to be beneficial for both of you. You have some skills that they don't, so it would complement them. And they have some skills that you don't have, so it would complement you. You're deciding to come together with someone. For some of you, this could be an equal partnership, like you're going to be partners, or it could be you're signing a contract to work for them, or they're signing a contract to work for you. You know, there could be different dynamics of the partnership, but it is very much like two people coming together, and this union is going to make more doors open for you. It's going to make your future brighter, because you're able to accomplish things that you wouldn't have been able to accomplish alone. This could also be a beneficial partnership in that your networking circles can blend. So, you know, you introduce them to your connections and they introduce you to theirs. But yeah, the Two of Wands often makes me think of, well, a lot of the time makes me think of a very beneficial partnership. It is associated with Mars and Aries, so this would definitely be a partnership that really boosts your motivation and really makes you believe in yourself, and also where you don't lose yourself or lose your individuality in the partnership. So I feel like there would not be a lot of compromise that has to go on. Like, if you have your list of criteria, this is what I expect out of a partnership, this is what I want in my career, and they have their list, when you come together and compare lists, you don't really have to yield to each other. Like, everybody can get what they want. So, really awesome. And again, for a lot of you, it's someone you already know or already know of. You maybe have even worked with this person before, but now you're just making things more official, like you're entering into a long-term agreement with them. So then we have the King of Swords. Again, we see two people coming together, and this is making me think of like discussion, planning. So yeah, and you're ending with the Page of Swords too, which is, you know, new ideas. So it seems like for the rest of the year, you are less in a taking action kind of stage, and you're more in a planning stage, which is very important. But yeah, you're like brainstorming, coming up with a schedule, thinking about your roles, thinking about your strategy. The King of Swords gives me the vibes of, you know, problem solving and analysis and discussing ideas. Swords is about communication. So yeah, we're in the thinking and planning stages, it looks like. Maybe at the end of the year, because there is movement here. There is movement and a new beginning. So maybe towards the end of the year is where you are taking your new idea out into the world or taking it for a test run. It's interesting. I said this for another group as well, that Aquarius season could be significant. I know that that's not in 2023 because Aquarius season is late January to late February, so that would be 2024. I literally said that for another group because they had an Aquarius card. But I did say in the intro that we might peek into 2024. So, you know, early 2024 might be when you're launching something new with this partner. And for the rest of the year, I do think you're going to come to this agreement really, really soon from the time you're watching, because this is the card of your nearest future. But yeah, for the rest of the year, it seems like you're in planning stages, and definitely you're making a commitment to each other with this Four of Wands. So this is not just like a verbal agreement that we're going to work together. I feel like there is some sort of formal, you know, written, because the number 4, it's like stable, it's secure, it's long-term, and it feels formal in this case, and you're tying the knot. It's like, it's a marriage, it's a commitment. So I do think there will be some sort of contract that is signed for you to partner with this person. I also just got a message that this person could be, like, it could really be a group, a company, an agency that you're partnering with, but this person is like the representative for you. So you'll be doing the most interactions with them. Because, you know, the Four of Wands also has the feeling of community and family. So, you know, you could be coming on board into their family, into their team, or they could be coming onto your team. With the Four of Wands, this is also like a happy domestic life and happy loved ones. So I do think that this is an agreement that your loved ones are going to be really happy about. I just heard like they're going to approve of it, you know, which is always good because sometimes, like, let's say you were really excited about an offer you got that you kind of have rose-colored glasses, and maybe it takes an outsider looking at it to say, I don't know, this seems kind of shady. So it's coming through, like, the fact that even your friends and family are super like, yeah, let's go, let's do it. It's just a testament to, you know, the good intentions and the good faith that is here. I hope that that makes sense. Everyone seems to be happy for you that this is happening. Everyone gets good vibes. That's the feeling with the Four of Wands. And really happy because whatever agreement it is that you're working out, you still get to maintain your independence and your vision and what you really want to do. You're not like yielding to the other person because your views just align. Your values just align. You could be... We did have a message about moving. You could be moving homes more towards the end of the year. Or you could be working at home. I sometimes see that with the Four of Wands. You could be working from home as well. But this is a very happy union. This is like a wish come true, a wish fulfilled. And, you know, often we see the wands lined up next to each other, but here they're in a box. So there's more of a feeling of protection. Like you're protected as you enter into this new stage, and also that this is a blessing that is secured for you. In the divine sense, like it is just for you because it's secured as a part of your divine journey. And so, another thing I wanted to say, for those of you who are resonating with like a romantic union being possible, or you doing something with your current romantic partner, you know, we have the marriage card here, and then pages can represent children. So I know that's not necessarily related to your career, but you could be like having a child with this person, if they are your love interest. If not, ignore me. Or more metaphorically, like having a child, finger quotes, with this person could be a metaphor of like your brainchild, like an idea that you birthed together, a business or a project that is really a combination of both of your energies and both of your talents. For those of you who have children, especially if you have adult children or older children, they could be working with you as well. You know, the Four of Wands with a child next to it, this could be something like a family business, because the King and Page of Swords are, you know, it's like a father and child. Or you could be working with your parents, I guess. But yes, like parents and children working together, something like that. Or this person could be connected to you because they're like a child of someone you know, or a parent of someone you know, or like your parents introduce you to each other, something like that. Could also be like, you know, there's parent company and child company. But anyway, the meaning we were talking about at first was, yeah, the birth of a new idea into the world and getting it out there. So I think, yeah, at the end of the year or at the beginning of 2024, you will be out of the planning stage with this person and birthing your new idea into the world. And I do think it's going to be received well with this movement here. There's a feeling of it's going to go far and it's going to go fast. And people might think you are an overnight success because this one thing took off quickly, but they don't see the years of like unfulfilled wishes, or the years of stagnation or disappointment and just hard work that you have gone through. Like, yes, this one project maybe took off really quickly, but it couldn't have happened without all of the lessons and challenges from like the 10, 20 projects that came before. But it is coming through that to the person who doesn't know you that well, to the untrained eye, if you will, you may appear as an overnight success. You are doing something innovative as well with this Page of Swords. It's a fresh, creative, innovative idea. Yeah. Only you know like what it took to get you here. But I mean, we do have catharsis and like you're letting it out. If you wanted to share about your journey of how you got here, I do think that could be quite inspiring for people. So that is everything. Oh, also, Garnet, I think, is a birthstone. No, it is. I don't think it is a birthstone for January. So you could be born in January, or someone significant, or again, the month of January could be significant. And that coincides with our like Aquarius season, because that's the end of January. So remember that. Mark it on your calendar, something significant in your career. Anyway, yes, those are all the messages for my group number 3s. So I'm going to end the reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. And thank you once again to Tarot Stack for collaborating with me. And thank you to the creators of these beautiful decks for your insights and your creativity, and for sharing it with us. And if you guys are interested in the bundle, I'm going to have it linked down below, the KINO Tarot Summer Bundle. I'm also going to link the individual decks. So whether you feel like one of these decks is vibing with you or both of them, you can check it all out down below. And remember, you can see every single card in the decks on Tarot Stack's website to really get a feel for if it resonates with you. And if you would like to get the bundle or the Creative's Compass Oracle, you can get 10% off using the code KINO. Thank you, Tarot Stack. We love you. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night whenever you are watching. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of exclusive, timeless pick-a-card readings just like this one, and also decide on topics for future readings. And I'll link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song, and I'll have my latest release linked down below as well. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you so much for supporting me. I just saw 3131. So in your reading, 1313 and 3131. Ones and threes. Ones and threes are important. The Magician and the Empress in tarot. Manifestation, abundance, prosperity, being the main character. Someone could also be like born on the 13th or born on the 31st. Life path 1, life path 3, life path 4. And also 13 is the death number, like in tarot, so letting go of the past, releasing. Anyway, thank you. Thank you so much for supporting me, my channel, anything that I do. I'm really, really grateful to have you here, and I'm sending lots of love to you, to your amazing partner, and anyone else who appeared in this reading, whether you know them yet or not. I'm sending them love, and I'm sending love to your higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Hi number 4s, so if you guys chose the Citrine, this is going to be your reading all about your career in the rest of 2023. We are going to start off this reading with some cards from the Creative's Compass Oracle, and we're going to take a look at your current energy with regards to your career, and then the energy that you'll be in at the end of the year. And so we'll see what's changing for you throughout the rest of the year. And then we are going to do a more specific breakdown of the events that will be taking place in chronological order throughout the rest of this year. And these two decks together are the KINO Tarot Summer Bundle, which I have curated in collaboration with Tarot Stack. I love Tarot Stack. I'm super happy to be working with them again. If you haven't heard of them yet, they are an online shop that features a huge selection of indie tarot and oracle decks. They have decks from all different creators and all different styles. It's a really beautiful and diverse selection that is always growing, and they spend 50% of their profits to actually fund new indie deck projects. So they help independent tarot and oracle creators get their decks printed and published, and they help market them as well so that they can reach the right people and get into the hands of those who need their messages. I'm super grateful for what they do for our community, and they actually published this deck recently, the Creative's Compass Oracle. That was their collaboration with an indie creator. So I'm going to have this bundle linked down below. I'm also going to have the individual decks linked if there's one in particular that you feel you resonate with. And you can actually look at every single card in the deck on Tarot Stack's website. So if you want to get a closer look and really see if you resonate with the messages, then definitely check out the links down below. And if you do want to get the bundle or the Creative's Compass deck, you can get a 10% discount with the code KINO. So thank you so much to Tarot Stack, and now let's get into your reading. We are starting with our Oracle deck, and the first thing we want to do is look at your current energies in your career. Group number 4's current energies in their career. What energy are they currently in, or what energies are they currently dealing with? So we're starting off with signs. Pay attention. What is unfolding? What is calling out to you to explore? Right off the bat, I think that there's a confirmation here for many of you who have been seeing some synchronicities around you pertaining to your career, and you needed some confirmation that yes, this is the universe speaking to you. Yes, there is something unfolding in your career. It's interesting too, this what is calling out to you to explore. You guys may be called to something new, a new job, or developing a new skill within your existing job. What is calling out to you? What is repeatedly showing up in your life? Because it's trying to get your attention. Like, this is maybe, well, is it a silly example? Maybe some of you have experienced it. If you, in any given day, bumped into 3 random strangers and all of them were chefs, that may be a sign to pay attention to. Like, that industry may be calling to you. Or maybe every time you're talking about your business idea, you look to the clock and it's 11:11 or it's 3:33. Pay attention to that. It might be a confirmation, like a green light on your idea. The divine is trying to communicate with you right now to confirm something about your career or about a path that you're considering. We also have value, most often not financial. Who are you now that it's done? What has been revealed? So in your current energy, you could also be reflecting on what value you give to others through your career and what value your career gives to you. And because this card says most often not financial, you may be called to reflect on, how am I enriching others' lives? What positive impact am I giving to others' lives through the work that I do? Or how do I want to enrich other people's lives through the work that I do? You know, not just thinking about what you could receive or how much money you could make, but what do I really want to leave behind for others with the work that I do? And what value do I want to receive through my job? Not just how much does it pay, but maybe I want to have long-lasting, healthy connections. Maybe I want to have a really supportive team. Maybe I want diversity. Maybe I want a job that's constantly challenging me to learn more. Maybe I want a job where I can learn a lot on the job and improve my skills. So thinking about non-financial value, I think your focus is being pulled there. What you want to give and also what you want to receive. We have 2 coming up together. Trance and rain. Creativity seeks expression. Meditate. Allow your works to be creative meditations. See the divinity in your creative acts. You are always in charge, even when the powerful feelings waver. The essence of your creativity is you, and creativity is powerful. This almost seems to me like your inspiration, your state of flow, it is something that you can consciously choose to get into. So maybe some of you have previously been in an energy where you just kind of wait for the inspiration to hit you. And I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with that. I do think your spiritual team is suggesting to you that even on some days where you don't feel super inspired, even on days where you don't really feel like it, you don't really feel motivated, if you just choose to show up and get started, you would eventually get into that trance. You would eventually get into that flow state. Yes, it is something that can just come to you and you can suddenly be overcome with that inspiration. But I think your spiritual team is also suggesting that you can induce this state just by showing up and getting started on it. I have seen this for myself countless times, especially in my creative work where I'm not really feeling it. But then once I get into it, it'll be 3 hours went by and I forgot to drink water because I'm not saying that's good, but I'm just so into it and I don't want to stop. You can get yourself into that state just by showing up. It may not happen every time, and that's okay, but I think your spiritual team wants to say you are not limited to just waiting for it. You have some power to create this state as well. It's both. You can wait for it to be overcome by it, and you can also try to get into it on your own. I think it just gives you a bit more freedom, especially, as humans with schedules and with commitments, we don't always have the freedom of creating in that very moment when the moment hits us. You could be hit by inspiration when you're, in the middle of lunch with your boss and your coworkers, or like when you're in a meeting, when you're in a phone call. Like, you can't always just, let me hop on my computer now and do the work. And sometimes you only have from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. to create and work on what you want to work on, because then you have the next commitment. So we don't always have that freedom to I'll just do it when it comes to me. So I think your spiritual team is saying, like, work with the time that you have, or you can carve out time, and you'd be surprised if you just get started how you'll really, really get into it. I'm just taking a sip of water. Okay, so now let's take a look at your end of year energy. What energy will group 4 be in at the end of the year? Group number 3 got this card as well in the exact same position. Creative timing. Delays often work in your favor. Spacious thinking can be helpful. You will know when to persist. Patience, essential. Don't give angst a seat at the table. Then we have knowing. Do not ask so many questions when the answers don't satisfy you. You always know. And then we have creative surfaces. Shiny a lot of the time, but not necessarily deep. Creativity is a layering process. Keep digging, then building. So, with these two together, I'm going to look at these two together. Group number 3 had, there's a couple groups that have this message about trusting in divine timing, and especially like trusting in the timing of your breakthrough and allowing yourself to really take your time. Delays often work in your favor. It feels like there was something that you wanted to happen sooner, but an opportunity that comes at a later time will be better. With shiny a lot of the time, but not necessarily deep, there may have been something that seemed really, really good on the surface, but ultimately it wouldn't have been very good for you. So an example of this, just one example, maybe previously you had an interview and you thought like, oh my gosh, this job is going to be perfect. I really want this job. And then you didn't get accepted. But if you had, maybe you would have found that this was not really the best fit for you. So it's like keep looking. Don't let that deter you, because the best is still out there for you. And okay. Let me try to put this into words. It's like, it's almost as if there's a part of your brain that is impatient and really wants things to happen quickly, that it would even go to the lengths of tricking you that an offer looks good when it's really not good. I need a more concrete example. Okay. Someone who wants to move out of their house as soon as possible. and they're really like impatient and really anxious to do it. They just want to move out as soon as possible. And there's this kind of unconscious force driving them, like, I need to move out as soon as possible. That when they go to a showing to see a prospective house, there might be a lot wrong with it, but they convince themselves like, oh, look at this house, this looks good, because they just want to move quickly. So they might overlook the things that are wrong with the new house because they don't want to be patient and wait for the right one. They're like, I just want to get this move done. I just want to leave my old house. So there's like a subconscious part of you that is very rushy, could be kind of running the show or like taking too much control. That you start to want things that aren't really a good fit for you, or even like someone who, I just don't want to be single anymore. So then they look at people with rose-colored glasses because it's a person, it's a relationship. There's almost like an advice to stay picky, I think. To stay picky. Do not ask so many questions when the answers don't satisfy you. You always know. It's like deep down you know when something is not for you. But yes, maybe it's hard to keep waiting because we worry that something better won't come, or we worry that, oh my gosh, I haven't made any progress, and if I keep turning down offers, then I'm never gonna make progress. This reminds me, like these three cards together, if I can just give an analogy, it reminds me of someone who really, really doesn't want to be single anymore. And then they meet someone and they're just so excited, like maybe this is my ticket out of being single. And so they like get really attached to this person, even though they're not a great fit for them. And then they go to ask their tarot cards, like, is this the person for me? And the tarot cards say no. And they're like, well, let me just check one more time. let me just watch this other reading. And like they're looking for the yes because they just want their situation to be over. They just want to get out of their current situation. So now, I guess apply that energy to your career. There's like, you might really want to get out of a certain situation, and while that's very valid, we want to make sure that we're not settling just because like, I want things to change. I want to feel like I'm making progress. I want to get out of here. We might have to stay where we are for a bit longer just to really, really make sure that we're taking an offer that is good for us. So this is your end of year energy, meaning that you may be looking to make a transition at the end of the year, or you may have multiple offers coming your way at the end of the year. And I think we just have to be really discerning of what is right for us and what is not, and not let that anxious feeling of like, I just want to get out of here, or I don't want to be stagnant for too long, like not let those get to us, and just really continue to be, picky and discerning. And so maybe it's one offer that's going to be good for you. Maybe it's none of them and we keep waiting, but we will wait however long we need to get the right fit. That's the vibe. Okay, so now we are going to move into the tarot to see your timeline of events. So it's just going to go in a line. The card here will represent your nearest future going through time, and then the last card will be the very end of the year. I just saw number 1717. That's the number of the star. It means that your future is bright and that it will exceed your expectations. So again, it's really important to not lower your standards or lower your expectations, because you can get so much better than what your brain might try to tell you. Okay. For my group number 4, what events will be transpiring in their career from the time that they are watching until the end of 2023. Wow. 10 of Pentacles. The Tower. The Lovers. And the Two of Pentacles. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Pentacles. So this is you. You are this King of Pentacles. I do want to tell you, in this lifetime, in this incarnation, you are destined for success in your career. You are destined for material wealth. You will be in a career, or you are in a career, that is suited to your natural skills, and you will be one of the best in that career. These are skills that you have actually been working on for multiple lifetimes. You maybe have had the same job or a similar job in many of your past lives that it just comes so naturally to you. You are like one of the best, and you will be able to provide for your loved ones with the abundance that you receive from this career. You will be taken care of, and your family and your loved ones will be taken care of. And if you don't already, at some point in your life, maybe later on in your life, I see you becoming a teacher of what you do, or a mentor to others who will follow in your footsteps. Like, you will really leave behind a big legacy. So, looking at this timeline, I do have to say there's a couple of different ways to interpret it. So I will try to explain the different ways, and I hope it doesn't get too confusing. But, you know, this is a very established life. So think someone who's had the same job for 10 years, maybe more. They're really firmly rooted in this company, or really firmly rooted in this town. They have all their connections. It's really familiar to them. It's something that they've been building up over time, and it's really sturdy. Like, look at the difference between this really, really strong, sturdy tower and this flimsy card tower. So something that has been built up for many years is falling apart. So some of you, if you've been in the same job for a really long time, or like the same field or the same company, the same town, working with the same people, you get the picture. If you've been in something for a very, very long time, you could be unexpectedly walking away from that in the nearish future. This is Virgo energy, actually. This is Scorpio, if we're thinking rest of 2023. So between late August, which already happened, late August and late November, which I realize is most of the rest of the year, this ending could be happening. This could be in your career, or in the career of a family member, someone you live with, or someone whose livelihood directly impacts you. So a spouse, for example, or a parent that you are financially dependent on. It's like someone whose career would directly impact you. So one interpretation of this is your long journey ending, like a really long and firmly established chapter of your career coming to an end. For others of you, there is an interpretation that your spouse or your family member or someone you live with is getting a job offer which would affect your career. So, for example, your spouse gets a job offer in a different country, so now you're moving to that country. And then, that affects your career, that affects the way you make money. There's a feeling of something unexpected happening and things that seemed very permanent in your life, because the Ten of Pentacles really does feel permanent. Things that seemed permanent in your life are falling apart. Now, I don't know your situation. For some of you, this could be very welcome, like a very welcome change. For others, it could be kind of scary, but that's, this really firm, sturdy tower is falling down. But I think this is supposed to be rubble, but the first thing that I thought when I looked at it was like a pile of money. So I think that whatever this change is, while it may be kind of overwhelming, I do think it's gonna bring a lot more money into your life. Same thing with the fact that there's a cow on the Lovers card. Cows do make me think of abundance, because it's like related to Taurus energy. And yeah, with the Lovers too, like those of you who are married or in a committed partnership, I feel like your partner could be going through a career change that is affecting you. And at first, it might be an unwelcome change, but then it's really going to impact your financial situation. Even if it's like, I don't know, you live right downtown, but then your partner gets a job in a more rural area and you're like, ugh, like I don't want to move to that town. There's nothing to do there. Like I like living in the city. But then once you move out there, you actually like it. You live in a really nice house and you're making a lot more money now. And you're like, you know what? This is not so bad. Because something you need to know with the Tower card is that it's not taking away anything that like would still serve you or that you still need to hold on to. It's only falling down because it's time for something new and better. So big change. That's the Tower. Big change. It kind of has the feeling of being unexpected, but it's going to benefit you and anyone that you're intimately close with. Yeah, those of you who are partnered up, your partner is becoming very wealthy or becoming more wealthy. And for some reason, it's like you might not be happy with the decisions you're making at first. It could also be that they're making a career decision or a business decision that's like really risky. And you're like, what the F are you doing? Like, what are you thinking? But then it turns out to be successful. And then you're like, okay, maybe I was a little bit quick to judge. I do get the feeling that many of you would be kind of like resistant or reluctant to this change at first. And I think, a big part of it is probably just the familiarity and the security that you're used to. And, this Ten of Pentacles energy has been established for such a long time that it's like, why would your logical and practical brain is like, why would we walk away from this to this like flimsy card tower that like we don't even know if it's gonna stand up? It doesn't make sense to your practical brain. Like, why would we go to this more risky thing, this more insecure path? But this is a risk that will be rewarded for sure. And it's gonna, for those of you who are partnered up, I think it's really gonna strengthen your bond and it's gonna bring happiness to you. Same with this Two of Pentacles. Like the two can talk about partners as well, and prayers being answered. There's like a heavy emphasis on partnership. For some of you, it could be that this unexpected change is an important step in the journey to meeting your, future life partner or meeting your soulmate, if that's something that hasn't happened for you yet, and the universe is coming to drag you out of your comfort zone and you're like, no, I'm scared. But then, it leads you to the love of your life. It leads you to your soulmate. That's another way to interpret this. With the Two of Pentacles here, yes, it will take some time to adjust to this new... My camera wants to focus on this and there's nothing here, which is kind of weird. Except for this like little bud. I don't know why it's doing that. It usually focuses on like some element of a card, like it would focus on a cow or focus on an apple, but it's just focusing on nothing. So interesting. Maybe it's like, having to have faith when you can't see the way forward, or maybe I'm just reaching. But anyway, yeah, the Two of Pentacles, it is pentacles, so it is stable and secure energy, but we often see a wavy sea in the Two of Pentacles card and someone juggling the pentacles. So I do think it's talking about, adapting to the waves of change and really taking your time to adapt to a new lifestyle. The Two of Pentacles is Jupiter in Capricorn. So again, it's like abundance in your career, and someone's status is dramatically increasing by the end of this year, perhaps in Capricorn season. So late December to late January of 2024. And again, like, it's hard to say who it is, if it's you or if it's your significant other or someone close to you, or if it's both of you, because like your energy is coming up at the same time. But someone is making a lot of money, and whether it's you or someone close to you, it is going to benefit you. And someone's status is dramatically improving as well. Your social circle, you're going to start to notice this towards the end of the year and then into 2024. That, and I just saw 3030 on the camera timer. 3 is the number of the Empress. Your social circle is going to start to have more like, I don't know how to say this without sounding like a douche, but like upper class, or like, yeah, like high status. Not that that's better or worse than anybody else, but like you'll notice that change in your social circle of like maybe more like successful people, more affluent people, more driven people, like entrepreneur type business people, like that Capricorn energy. I hope that you know what I mean. You're going to notice more of those people in your circle. And yeah, with this, like this prayer and the magnets, you're attracting the answer to your prayers. It's just that the answer to your prayers is coming in an unexpected package, or maybe a kind of scary package. Some of you, it's funny, it's like you've been praying for this change for so long, but then when it actually comes, you're afraid of it. Or like you're praying so much for your life to change, but you have been unwilling to change. Or you're praying for change, but then when it comes, you're like, universe, please give me change. But then the change comes and you're like, no, not like that. This is too abrupt. This is too drastic. This is too scary. This is too out of my comfort zone. Like, the universe is hitting you with something big. That's for sure. Like your whole lifestyle is going to be different. And it will take some getting used to. But it will be a good thing for you, for your partner, if you have one, for your family. With this lighthouse here, you could be living by the water, or you could be traveling somewhere by boat. You could be getting a boat as well. So yeah, a Gemini person could be significant with the Lover's energy here, or an earth sign person. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We have Capricorn here as well. This is Virgo energy. It's Mars in Virgo, like someone with a Virgo Mars. Mars here as well. Yeah, but I think that those are all the messages, and the camera is still focusing on this corner here. I don't know what that is. Maybe you have a spirit guide who appears like above you and to your right. I know that's really specific, but why is it doing that? Anyway, thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you, and thank you to Tarot Stack once again for collaborating with me, and thank you to the creators of these beautiful decks. It's been such a pleasure using them. I love using them individually. I love using them together. If you guys want to check out the bundle, it's going to be linked down below. And you can also check out the individual decks if you want to take a more thorough look at the cards and see how you resonate with the imagery and the messages. You can do that on Tarot Stack's website. And if you do want to get the bundle or the Creative's Compass Oracle deck, you can get a 10% discount with the code KINO. So thank you so much to Tarot Stack for that. I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch dozens of exclusive, timeless pick a card readings just like this one, and also decide on topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song, and I'll also have my latest release link down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. All that's going to be in the description and the pinned comment. Thank you so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I'm really grateful to have you here. I really appreciate your support. Group number 4s. I should also mention, just in case you didn't know, Citrine is a great stone for abundance. It's even referred to as the merchant stone. It will help you be successful in business. It's also, I think, related to, and I always forget this, it's either related to the month of November as a birthstone or Scorpios. One of those. But yeah, thank you so much for your support. I'm sending lots of love to you, to your partner, your family, or anyone who you picked out as appearing. Why am I wording that so confusingly? Anyone whose energy came out in this reading and you picked them out, I'm sending love to them too. And I'm sending love to your higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on Earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!